Hey everyone, welcome to week 8. You've made it through 8 whole weeks almost of class. Congratulations. Again, I want to say this has been a great group of students. I've enjoyed reading all your papers. Great. The earth sculptures. Sorry, my brain is all over the place. It's Monday, right? We're just so cool to see, reading your reflections and seeing how those made an impact on you, how artists like Andy Goldsworthy have been really meaningful for some of you and have changed the way you think about artists who work in that kind of mediums was a really neat thing to see and experience. So not a whole lot left to do. We just got to get that capstone project done. So hopefully you've been working on that starting all of last week. And you have your one discussion board that I will be looking at and grading ASAP and getting that back to you. And also, if you did that extra credit assignment, you should have that back within a couple days. And we've got our capstone project, we have a final quiz, and we have a final reflection on the course. Now remember that your capstone project is due this Friday instead of Sunday night at midnight because I have to turn in your final grades on Monday at 4 p.m. So I need that time to get your stuff graded. And we'll go over that in just a little more detail in a minute. If you want to go back and watch the week 7 agenda video, that's where we go over that whole assignment in detail. I'm just going to go over a few of the technical aspects of it here. So final reflection on the course. This is just a one-page journal. What has been your most eye-opening experience in taking this class? Why? Is there any constructive feedback you have about the course, etc.? So that is due day 6 at midnight. So Saturday by midnight. Your quiz, also day 6 at midnight. Now please note on your quiz, you must submit proof that your course eval has been completed. And this could be a screenshot of the completion page. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, nothing that has your, doesn't have to even have your name on it. And I don't want to see your course eval. Those are completely anonymous. It's basically you get credit on your quiz just for doing your course evaluation. And if you notice that I'm kind of in a strange setting, I'm actually sitting here at Word Entertainment in Nashville, helping with a writer's retreat. And so I just snuck into one of the rooms so that I could record a little bit for you guys. Okay, so our capstone project, again, we're digging into those 3 case studies. So some of you were a little confused on this concept. So you're writing 3 individual case studies, right? In each one of those case studies, you're going to pick one perspective from Schaefer. And for that perspective, you're going to pick one work of art that you think is a good illustration of that perspective. So you're doing that 3 times, right? Now within each case study, if you decide that you need some other artworks to also, discuss kind of for context, you can do that as well, but you only have to focus on that one. So when we talk about going through Panofsky's intrinsic level, all that kind of stuff, you only have to do that for the one artwork that you've selected per case study, okay? If you're still having questions about that, please don't hesitate to ask me. I want to be here for you all week on this big project. I know that it's a little bit of a heavy one. There's a lot of critical thinking that goes on here. So again, remember that this is due Friday night at midnight. And I've also attached for you here the capstone project rubric. And go ahead and take a look at this because it's going to show you and I use this when I grade your papers. So it's going to show you how I'm breaking down the points. So I would look through this before you submit just to make sure that you're, hitting all these things so you have a better idea and understanding of what to expect when I'm grading those. Okay, so the next item is going to be directions for submitting your critical assignment. Now, they've just changed this as of last session. It was the first time that we used this new system. And so there's instructions here that you can download. It also is going to just walk you through instructions on how to submit it. And then the last item that you'll see, so if I turn my editing off and it looks more like how your Blackboard looks, where you just get one item at a time. So you have your agenda, and there's instructions here as well for that task stream where you upload your final project. You have your reflection on the course, which is your journal entry. you have your quiz, you have your capstone project instructions. So when it says write capstone project, this is just going to be the instructions for the assignment. There's directions for submitting, and critical assignment capstone project is the same. It's the same thing. We've just kind of been changing the way we label them, and I just hadn't changed that from capstone project yet. So there's the instructions here, and then there's this submit critical assignment, and this is where you actually submit it, and it will pop up and it will give you directions. Make sure that you kind of walk through this, a little bit ahead of time and feel comfortable with it. Don't wait until 11:58 on Friday night to then kind of go in and try and figure out how this works. So mine looks a little bit different, of course, because mine will show whose work needs to be evaluated. So that's all we got this week. I know it's a lot, but not a lot for me to talk about. I want to thank you guys again for being such a great group of students. I hope that this class has showed you that art is a lot deeper than the surface, and that there are a lot of tools out there that we can use when we, to dig deeper. That if we don't understand something, or if we just look at it and think that looks pretty, or that's scary, or I like her dress in that painting, that we can use some tools to kind of peel back the layers and understand where the artist was coming from, and look at the historical context, look at how the artwork was composed, all of that good stuff. If you have any questions, again, about your critical assignment, please don't hesitate to ask. I will look for those Friday at midnight, your quizzes and your final journal entry by Saturday at midnight, and I will be submitting your final grades this coming Monday. So thanks again, and have a good weekend off if you're not taking a bunch of other classes that have work due over the weekend, a couple days before you dive back in on Monday. And if this was your last class, congratulations on being done. Thanks again, everyone.